Hi everyone, my name is Nick, and this is my foam sculpture of the iconic Dungeons & Dragons monster, the Beholder. If you are a nerd of old, then you have surely stumbled upon one of these before, and you know just how lethal they can be. This is a sculpture that I made out of Great Stuff foam, and I have coated it in acrylic paint and Bondo. The purpose of this video is it's an introduction, it's an overview of this project, and it will be part of a series that I'm putting up on YouTube. There will be I have a timeline that I'm creating of still images to show you how we got to this point, so you actually haven't missed anything. Right now we're about halfway through this project. There's a lot of finished work to do, but it's a good place to stop and show you the project as a whole. I'm going to go over my materials and my tools that I've used for this project and give you a little bit of history about some of these materials. So, since we only have 10 minutes, let's go ahead and get started. Sorry about the jiggly camera as I move around. Every project like this should start with some visual references. In this case, this is the Beholder, and it's from the classic tome, The Monster Manual by E. Gary Gygax. So, there are better illustrations of this monster. If you do a Google image search, you can find them. Clank. And the more the merrier, as far as I'm concerned. So, I have used Great Stuff foam, which is an insulation foam, and it's used for filling ceiling gaps around windowsills and door jambs, and otherwise insulating parts of your house, generally speaking. It's an expanding foam, which means you spray it on and it expands into a larger bead than what you originally sprayed on. This foam is really kind of cool stuff. Has been around for a while. People use it for a similar product anyway, for foam dome houses. And you might recognize this foam and when you watch the original Planet of the Apes, they made a lot of the sets using pretty much the same material. Let's see here. Great Stuff foam. This is the consumer quantity, the consumer package of this stuff, and it takes about 24 hours to cure. There is an industrial grade foam called froth packs, which cure in about an hour, and they expand even more, and those are generally more what you would see if you're building, say, a foam dome house. Most of these materials are found at the hardware store, and everything with this project I intended to make it out of materials that you would be able to lay your hands on very easily. So most of your box stores will have these items, and if not, they will have something very similar as a substitute. So, Great Stuff foam and Bondo, which is used for fixing up doing body work on your car. And I've used interior latex paint. And I've also used this Shields primer, which has seemed to do the same job. Let's see here. There's another kind of foam called Florist foam, which is really cool stuff for carving, but it's so delicate you can actually just carve it with your finger. It's so delicate that I usually use it for blocking in large areas that I'll later cover in other types of foam or other kinds of epoxies. There are definitely some better materials out there to use, but like I say, this is stuff that's readily available. Some other products that I've been using are, that you will see in other videos, is clear casting resin. That's the same basic stuff as Bondo. It's a polyester resin. And this clear casting resin, you can find it in an art store. And it's also polyester resin. The usual way that you see it are those gimmick ice cubes with the bug in them. Don't put that stuff in your drink. It's not good for you. It's not healthy. Let's see here. If you are going to be mixing Bondo and casting resin, then you're going to want to use a product called a mix and measure container, which you will find in the paint department at your hardware store. And the important part is it's made out of a type of plastic that does not dissolve under Bondo. Bondo will dissolve polystyrene. It will dissolve this florist foam, and it's unless of course you cover it in a white latex. But we'll talk about process in another video. Other materials you'll probably want to lay your hands on: glass of water for your mouth, and liquid nails, which I'm actually going to use to set the teeth in the gum of my beholder. And these are some other, in one of my projects, one of the side projects, I use some mold making materials, in which case you want to use this stuff called Mold Builder, which is a latex product, and it also repels the Bondo. One of the critical things that you'll definitely want to have are latex gloves. None of these products are things that you want to get on your skin, and you'll want to get a real serious mask if you're going to be doing this for any length of time. Great Stuff foam. You want to use eye protection as well as latex gloves. You definitely don't want to get this stuff on your skin. Your skin is a gigantic sponge, and everything that gets on you will go straight to your liver, and it will stay there. And you definitely don't want a bunch of toxic crap in your body. So, invest in your safety equipment. We'll talk about safety in another video, because some of this stuff is actually pretty bad for you, pretty lethal. So, this is a spool of steel wire. It's baling wire. This is a 5-pound spool, and it's lasted me for 10 years. I've used it for all kinds of stuff. It is the never-ending spool of useful wire. Another good tool is called a Surform. This is a drywall tool, and it's your basic cheese grater on a handle. Drywall knife is really handy for carving foam, and it's also really nice for home defense, so keep that one handy. A really great tool is called a 6-in-1 tool, and this one is really cruddy, so I'm kind of embarrassed to show it to you, but if you're going to be carving foam and Bondo and this kind of stuff, this is absolutely positively one of the coolest toys that you could possibly use. Let's see here. I've got some screws. These are zinc screws. Any kind pretty much will do you. I like to use what I've got on hand. I don't like to spend a lot of money on this stuff. I can avoid it. Sharpie markers are good. Popsicle sticks. Never underestimate the power of the popsicle stick. I'm running up on my 10-minute mark, and so I'm going to give you one last view of the beholder. And in fact, this is my studio indoors. So this is an outdoor project. We'll talk about more of that later on, but these chemicals are definitely all outdoor chemicals, and you will want to be very careful about doing any of this indoors. I'm out of time, folks. Thank you.